In the cold silence of deep space where stars blinked like distant memories, a small human scout vessel drifted without power. Its hull was cracked, its lights dead. And inside, Lily Carter sat curled against a wall, shivering in the thin remains of her thermal suit. Oxygen levels had dropped to 12%. Her lips were dry, her hands stiff, and her thoughts blurred at the edges. She had been alone for 18 days. She hadn't meant to come this far. Her mission was simple. Map the outer rim of the Orion Spur, collect data, return in 6 weeks. But on day 3, something strange happened. Space itself seemed to ripple. A storm of light, crystalline, jagged, humming with energy, swallowed her ship whole. The engines failed. Comms died. And then, nothing but silence and the slow creep of cold. Lily had rationed her food, recycled her water, and spoken to herself just to hear a voice. She named the stars outside her viewport. She replayed old songs in her head. But hope had nearly vanished when the golden light appeared. It came without warning, soft at first like dawn through fog, then bright enough to cast long shadows across the cabin. Lily lifted her head, squinting. Outside the fractured viewport, a ship hovered, sleek, silver, shaped like a crescent moon. Its surface shimmered with glowing symbols that shifted like living ink. No engines roared. No warning signals flashed. It simply was. Before she could react, the hull groaned. A section of the wall dissolved into mist and a figure stepped through. Tall and graceful, the stranger wore armor that looked woven from moonlight and frost. Her skin was pale as pearl, her hair silver white and floating as if underwater. Her ears rose to sharp points and her eyes, violet luminous, locked onto Lily with calm intensity. 2 small creatures followed her, no bigger than house cats, their bodies covered in iridescent scales that shifted from deep blue to forest green with every breath. They moved silently, wings folded tight, eyes watchful. "You are human," the woman said. Her voice was clear, melodic, but carried the weight of command. Lily tried to speak, but her throat cracked. She nodded instead. The woman knelt beside her, placing a cool hand on Lily's forehead. Warmth spread through her instantly, gentle, healing like sunlight after a long winter. Color returned to Lily's cheeks. Her breathing eased. "I am Zara Valen," the woman said. "Princess of the Ilari," Lily swallowed. "Lily Carter, United Earth Alliance, scout vessel." Astra 7 Zara tilted her head slightly. "You should not be here." "I didn't choose to be," Lily whispered. "My ship got caught in that storm of light." "The resonance field," Zara said, her expression unreadable. "It destroys minds not born of Ilari blood. Yet you live. And you are sane." "Barely," Lily admitted with a weak smile. Zara studied her for a long moment. Then she turned to the small creatures. "Nyx Solgarter." The 2 dragon-like beings chirped softly and padded closer, one curling at Lily's feet, the other nuzzling her hand with a snout warm as summerstone. Their touch was comforting, almost familiar. "Why are they so small?" Lily asked. "They are hatchlings," Zara replied, "bound to me since birth. They choose their size based on need and trust." Lily looked at them in wonder. "They're dragons?" "Spirit dragons," Zara corrected gently. "Living echoes of the world tree. They do not breathe fire. They breathe truth." Before Lily could ask more, Zara stood. "You will come with me." "Where?" "To Ilaria. Is that a planet?" "It is home." Zara extended her hand. Lily hesitated, then took it. Strength flowed through that grip. Not just physical, but something deeper, like an anchor in a storm. The silver ship welcomed them without sound. Inside, the walls glowed with soft blue veins of light. The air smelled of rain and old forests. Lily sat on a cushioned bench as Zara moved to the front of the craft, her fingers brushing floating crystals that served as controls. The ship leapt forward, not with a roar but with a sigh, as if space itself parted for her. During the journey, Lily learned more. The Ilari were an ancient race, older than human history. They had once walked among early humans, guiding them in secret, but withdrew when humanity turned to war and greed. They now lived hidden in the crystal chaos, a region of space warped by ancient energy, invisible to normal sensors. "No human has entered the chaos and lived," Zara said, glancing back. "You are the first in 500 cycles. Why didn't it kill me?" Lily asked. Zara paused. "Perhaps you were meant to come." Lily didn't understand, but she felt a strange pull in her chest, like a memory she couldn't name. When they arrived, Lily gasped. Ilaria was not a planet. It was a living city grown from a single colossal tree that spiraled through the void. Its trunk was wider than Earth's moon, its branches stretching for thousands of miles, each holding domes of light, towers of crystal, and gardens that bloomed with starlight flowers. Moons orbited it like loyal pets held in place by roots that pulsed with golden energy. Dragons of all sizes soared between the branches, some no larger than birds, others massive enough to carry entire buildings on their backs. "This is real?" Lily whispered. "More real than your world," Zara said. "Everything here breathes. Everything remembers." They landed on a platform woven from living vines. Ilari citizens turned to stare, tall, elegant, their eyes wide with shock. Humans were legends to them, stories told to warn children. To see one walking among them was unthinkable. Whispers followed Lily as Zara led her through glowing corridors. Some Ilari stepped back. Others reached out with curious fingers, then pulled away as if burned. Zara brought her to a chamber high in the royal spire. It opened to the stars, filled with floating pools of liquid light and trees that bore fruit glowing like tiny suns. Soft moss covered the floor, and the air hummed with a quiet song, barely audible but soothing. "You will stay here," Zara said. "The council will decide your fate." "Fate?" Lily's stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "Trespassing in the crystal chaos is punishable by exile, or dissolution," Zara said plainly. "But I claimed you upon rescue. That grants you temporary protection." "Claimed me?" Lily frowned. "Like property?" Zara's eyes softened just slightly. "Like kin. Among my people, to claim another is to accept their burden as your own. It is sacred." Lily looked away, unsure what to feel. Part of her was grateful. Another part felt trapped. That night she couldn't sleep. The silence was too perfect. The air too clean. She missed the hum of engines, the smell of metal and sweat. She wandered to the balcony, staring out at the endless sky. Nyx and Sol followed, silent as shadows. "You two are weirdly loyal," she murmured, scratching Nyx behind the ear. The little dragon purred. Then, without warning, red light flooded the city. Alarms sounded, not loud but deep, resonant, like a gong struck in the heart of a mountain. Zara appeared in the doorway, now clad in full battle armor, her violet eyes sharp with urgency. "The Void Reavers," she said. "Who?" "Scavengers, outcasts. They hunt Ilari for our life essence. They've breached the outer wards." Before Lily could respond, the floor shook. An explosion rocked the spire. Black-armored figures poured into the halls, tall, twisted, their faces hidden behind masks that dripped shadow. They carried weapons that drank light, leaving trails of darkness in their wake. Zara drew a blade that blazed with white fire. "Stay behind me," but Lily didn't. She spotted a fallen Reaver weapon near the door, grabbed it, and fired. The blast missed, but it startled the attackers long enough for Zara to strike. Her blade moved like lightning, cutting through shadow and steel alike. Lily ducked behind a pillar, heart pounding. She wasn't a soldier. She was a cartographer, but something in her refused to hide. She saw a Reaver aiming at Zara's back. Without thinking, Lily lunged, tackling the creature to the ground. They rolled, grappling, until Lily slammed its head against the floor. It went still. Zara turned, stunned. "You fight?" "I adapt," Lily panted. At that moment, Nyx and Sol leapt into the air. Their bodies shimmered, grew. Scales hardened into armor. Wings stretched wide, casting shadows over the room. They were no longer kittens. They were war dragons, eyes blazing with ancient power. Together, the four of them drove the Reavers back. Lily moved with a strange instinct, dodging, striking, using the environment. She kicked over a glowing pool, its liquid light burning the Reavers like acid. She used the vines as whips, entangling enemies. Zara watched her with growing awe. This human, frail, short-lived, untrained, fought like she belonged. When the last Reaver fell, silence returned. Smoke curled from scorched walls. Lily collapsed against a pillar, breathing hard. Zara approached, then knelt beside her. "Why did you do that?" "You saved me," Lily said simply. "I couldn't just watch you die." Zara was quiet for a long time. Then she placed a hand on Lily's shoulder. "You heard the song?" "What song?" "The resonance field. It sings a melody only Ilari souls can bear. You not only survived it, you listened. That means something." Before Lily could ask what, elders in flowing robes entered the chamber. Their faces were stern, but their eyes held new respect. "Princess Zara," the eldest said, voice like wind through leaves. "The human has fought for Ilaria. She stood when others would have fled. She is not one of us," another elder warned. Blood is not the only thread that binds, Zara replied firmly. She carries the echo of the world tree in her spirit. I claim her as kin. The elders exchanged glances. Then the High Elder bowed his head. So it shall be written. From that night on, Lily's status changed. She was no longer a prisoner or a curiosity. She was goo. Weeks passed in the living city of Ilaria, and Lily Carter no longer felt like a guest. She woke each morning to the soft chime of crystal leaves and the warm weight of Nyx curled against her side. Sol would already be perched on the balcony railing, watching dragon riders streak across the sky with eyes sharp as stars. Lily had traded her torn flight suit for Ilari robes woven from moon silk, light, warm, and responsive to her mood, shifting from pale blue to soft gold when she felt calm. Zara trained her daily. Not just in combat, but in listening. The Ilari did not rely on weapons alone. They listened to the world tree, to the hum of the crystals, to the whispers in the wind. Your mind is loud, Zara told her once, but your heart is quiet. That is rare. Lily learned to meditate beneath the great roots, placing her palms on the glowing bark until she felt the pulse of the tree. Slow, deep, ancient. Sometimes images came to her. Forests burning, stars falling, a black ship with jagged wings circling Ilaria like a vulture. She told Zara, who grew still. That ship, Zara said, belongs to Kale the Hollow. Who is he? Once he was Ilari, a scholar. He sought to use the tree's power to remake the galaxy. When the elders refused, he tore out his own connection to the tree and left. Now he leads the Reavers. He wants the heart core, the source of all Ilari life. Lily felt a chill. Can he take it? Not easily. But if he gathers enough stolen essence, he might break the wards. That night, Lily dreamed of fire in the branches. She woke gasping, sweat on her brow. Nyx nuzzled her cheek, purring softly. Outside, the city glowed peaceful under twin moons. But Lily knew peace was fragile. The next morning, Zara summoned her to the council chamber. The elders sat in a circle of floating stone, their faces grave. A new threat had emerged. 3 outer moon gardens, small habitats where young Ilari studied botany and star lore, had gone silent. No signals. No life signs. Scouts report Reaver ships nearby, said Elder Malus, his voice like dry leaves. But something is different. Their movements are precise, coordinated. Kale, Zara said. We cannot risk sending warriors, another elder said. The core must be guarded, Zara turned to Lily. You are not Ilari. You do not shine with our light. To Reaver sensors, you are just another human, worthless, ignored. Lily understood. You want me to go. I want you to scout, to see what they are building. If Kale is close, we must know. Lily agreed without hesitation. She would not wait for fire to reach her home. Preparations were swift. Zara gave her a small cloaked skiff, black, silent, shaped like a falling leaf. It ran on captured starlight, leaving no trail. Nyx and Sol would go with her, hidden in shadow pouches woven from spirit vine. They will guide you, Zara said, fastening the final strap on Lily's harness. Trust them more than your eyes. Lily nodded. What if I'm caught? Then run, Zara said simply. But do not let them take you alive. They will drain your mind for secrets. The words hung heavy, but Lily met Zara's gaze without flinching. I won't. She launched at dusk, the skiff slipping between branches like a whisper. Within minutes, Ilaria was behind her, swallowed by the glittering haze of the crystal chaos. Ahead lay the dead moons. The first moon garden was a ruin. The dome was shattered, the plants withered to ash. Lily landed softly, boots crunching on frozen soil. Nyx and Sol emerged, sniffing the air. They led her to a crater at the center where the ground was scorched black in a perfect circle. Energy weapon, Lily muttered, crouching, focused, surgical. Sol chirped and pointed with his snout toward the far ridge. Lily followed, moving low. At the edge of the crater, she found footprints, not Ilari, not human. Clawed wide, unnatural. Reaver hybrids. Kale was splicing stolen essence with other species, creating soldiers. Her stomach turned, but she pressed on. The second moon was worse. Bodies lay scattered. Ilari children no older than 10 by human reckoning. Their eyes were open, empty. Their life essence drained. Lily covered her mouth, tears burning. Nyx pressed against her leg, a low growl rumbling in his chest. We can't stay, she whispered. But I won't forget you. She recorded everything with a tiny crystal lens Zara had given her. Images, sounds, energy readings. Proof. The third moon was active. Lily saw the lights from orbit, pulsing red, unnatural. The dome was intact but warped, covered in black veins that pulsed like infected blood. Reaver ships circled it like flies, and at its center stood a tower made of bone and crystal, rising from the garden's heart. They're using the moon as a battery, Lily realized, harvesting the life left in the soil. She landed the skiff in a shadowed crater 2 miles away. Under cover of night, she crept closer, cloaked in a light-bending shroud Zara had woven. Nyx and Sol stayed close, their scales dimmed to dull gray. As she neared the dome, she heard voices, not reaver growls, but clear, sharp speech, Illyri speech. Peering through a crack in the wall, Lily saw him. Kale the Hollow stood on a raised platform, his back to her. He wore black armor lined with stolen runes, his silver hair now streaked with ash. His ears were still pointed, but his eyes, once violet like Zara's, were now black, empty. Before him knelt a captured Illyri elder, bound in chains that dripped shadow. "You will tell me the frequency of the core's shield," Kyle said, voice smooth as poison. "Never," the elder spat. Kyle sighed. "Then your essence will feed my new child." He raised a hand. Black tendrils shot from his palm, wrapping around the elder's chest. The elder screamed as golden light poured from his mouth, eyes, fingertips, siphoned into a glass orb floating above Kyle's head. Lily's blood ran cold. She wanted to rush in to fight, but she remembered Zara's words. "Do not let them take you alive." She backed away slowly, but as she turned, her foot brushed a loose stone. It clattered. Kale's head snapped toward the wall. "Intruder!" Lily ran, alarms blared. Reavers poured from the dome, howling. Lily sprinted for the ridge, heart hammering. Nyx and Sol flew ahead, blasting Reavers with pulses of pure sound that shattered bone. Lily fired her wrist-mounted disruptor, dropping 2 more. She reached the skiff just as a Reaver lunged. She rolled, kicked, and scrambled inside. The engines hummed to life. The skiff shot upward as energy bolts slammed into the ground behind her. But Kale was not done. From the tower, a beam of black light lanced into the sky, striking the edge of the crystal chaos. Space twisted, a rift opened, and through it flew a ship unlike any Lily had seen. Jagged, asymmetrical, built from fused wreckage and living metal. Kale's flagship. It turned toward her. "Oh no," Lily whispered. She pushed the skiff to its limit, weaving through asteroid shards and energy storms. The black ship followed, relentless. It fired not weapons but hooks of dark energy trying to snare her vessel. Nyx and Sol darted out, biting at the hooks, dissolving them with bursts of starlight breath. But the flagship was closing in. Then a miracle. From the heart of the chaos, a silver crescent appeared. Zara's ship. It moved like a blade through water, cutting between Lily and the flagship. Beams of white fire erupted from its wings, striking the black ship's hull. Kale's vessel shuddered, then retreated into the rift, which snapped shut behind it. Zara's voice came through the calm but urgent. "Return. Now." Back in Ilaria, the council watched the recordings in silence. When the image of the Elder's essence being stolen filled the chamber, Elder Malus wept. "Kale seeks to build a resonance key," Zara said, "a device that mimics the World Tree's song. With it, he could walk through our shields and take the core." "Then we must destroy the tower," Lily said. "We cannot," Zara replied. "It is shielded by stolen life. Attacking it would kill every spark of essence trapped within." Lily thought hard. "What if we don't attack it?" "But silence it." Zara looked at her. "Explain. The tower runs on the moon's life force, but that life is fading. If we cut its connection to the Reaver network, it will collapse on its own." "How?" "I saw cables, black veins, running from the tower to 3 anchor points. If we sever them at the same time, the feedback might overload the system," the elders murmured. It was risky, but possible. Zara stood. "We will do it. Lily will lead the strike team." Shock rippled through the chamber. "A human?" one elder protested. "She sees what we cannot," Zara said firmly. "She is one of us now." 3 nights later, they moved. Lily, Zara, and 6 elite dragon riders flew on silent wings toward the corrupted moon. Lily rode Sol, now grown to the size of a small horse, his scales shimmering with protective runes. Nyx flew beside her, eyes glowing. They landed at the 3 anchor points. Lily took the eastern ridge closest to the tower. Her mission: cut the main conduit at the exact moment Zara gave the signal. The moon was eerily quiet. No Reavers patrolled. Kale was overconfident. Lily crept to the conduit, a thick, pulsing cord of black crystal buried in the soil. She planted Zara's resonance charges, set the timer. Then she waited. A voice behind her made her freeze. "I knew you would return." Kale stood 10 feet away, cloaked in shadow. No guards, no weapons drawn. Just him. "You're not a Larry," he said, stepping into the moonlight. "But you carry our song. How?" "I listened," Lily said, hand on her blade. Kyle smiled, but it held no warmth. Zara always favored the broken things. First the dragons. Now you. "They're not broken," Lily snapped. "They're strong. Strength is control," Kyle said. "Not compassion." Before he could move, Lily triggered the charges early. The days after the moon's cleansing were quiet, but not peaceful. Lily felt it in the air. A tension like a bowstring pulled too tight. The World Tree's song had changed. It no longer hummed with calm. Now it carried a warning, low and steady, like thunder far off. Zara spent most of her time in the heart chamber deep within the trunk of the great tree. There the core pulsed in a cavern of living crystal, its light golden and warm. Elders came and went, faces drawn. Lily was allowed to enter, a rare honor. She sat beside Zara as they watched the core ripple with unease. "It senses him," Zara whispered. "Kale is close." "How?" Lily asked. "We destroyed his tower." "He does not need towers now," Zara said. "He has tasted pure essence. He knows the song, and he is learning to sing it back." That night, Lily dreamed again, but this time she was not watching from afar. She stood in the heart chamber and the core was dark. Kale stood before it, hands pressed to the crystal, singing a twisted version of the Alari melody. With every note the light dimmed. She woke, gasping. Nyx licked her face, eyes wide with worry. Soul hovered near the ceiling, wings twitching. "It wasn't just a dream," Lily said aloud. She dressed quickly and went to find Zara. She found her on the sky bridge, staring toward the edge of the chaos. The stars there flickered oddly as if seen through broken glass. "He's building something," Zara said without turning. "A mirror. Not of light, but of song. If he completes it, he can reflect the core's frequency and walk through our shields like a ghost. Can we stop it? Only if we find it before it sings." They gathered a small team, 4 dragon riders, Zara and Lily. They took the fastest skiffs, cloaked in silence. This time, they did not head for the outer moons. They flew deeper into the chaos where space bent and time slowed. After 2 days of travel, Saul began to shiver. His scales dulled. Nyx growled low in his throat. "We're near," Lily said. Head floating in a pocket of warped space hung a structure made of stolen Alari ships, fused together with black crystal. At its center spun a sphere of mirrored glass etched with stolen runes. It pulsed in time with the World Tree's song, but wrong, like a heartbeat out of rhythm. The echo spire, Zara breathed. They landed on a broken hull nearby. The air crackled with wrongness. Even the dragons moved slower, as if the song weighed on them. "We must shatter the mirror," Zara said. "But if we strike it directly, the backlash could blind us, or worse, teach Kale how to strengthen it." Lily studied the spire. Cables of dark energy connected the mirror to the wreckage, feeding it stolen fragments of Alari memory. She remembered how the moon tower fell, not by force but by cutting its roots. "What if we don't break the mirror?" she said slowly. "But flood it." Zara turned. "Flood it? The mirror copies the song. But it's empty. If we give it too much, too fast, it might overload. You would sing into it?" Zara's eyes widened. "That is dangerous. If Kale hears your voice through it, he could trace you back to Alaria." "Then I won't sing alone," Lily said. "We all will. Together. A chorus he can't ignore and can't control." The riders exchanged glances. It was unheard of. Alari's song was sacred, never shared in battle. But Zara nodded. "Do it." They formed a circle around the spire, hidden behind wreckage. Zara began first, her voice clear and strong, weaving the oldest melody, the birth song of the World Tree. One by one, the riders joined, their voices layering like roots intertwining. Last, Lily sang. Her voice was rougher, human, but true. She sang not of stars or trees, but of home, of Earth's oceans, of her mother's lullaby, of the quiet courage it took to keep going when all seemed lost. Her song did not match theirs, but it harmonized in a way that surprised even the Alari. The mirror trembled. Light flared within it. Gold, then white, then blinding. Cracks spiderwebbed across its surface. From deep inside the spire, a roar echoed. "Kale! He's coming!" a rider shouted. Black smoke poured from the wreckage. Kale emerged, not walking but floating, his body wreathed in stolen essence. His eyes burned with fury. "You dare," he snarled. "A human polluting the song?" He raised his hands. Shadows lashed out like whips. One rider fell, clutching his chest as his light dimmed. Zara stepped forward, blade blazing. "Leave her be," Kyle laughed. "Or what, sister? You will cut me down? I am beyond your blade now." He lunged, not at Zara but at Lily. Soul intercepted him, roaring, fire blooming from his maw. But Kale caught the flames in his palm and crushed them like paper. Nick struck next, but Kale backhanded him aside with a wave of dark energy. Lily stumbled back, heart pounding, but she did not stop singing. The others joined her again, louder now. The mirror shrieked. Cracks widened. Light poured from its fractures, pure and wild. Kale screamed as the light touched him. It burned away his stolen power, peeling it like skin. For a moment he looked like the Ilari he once was, terrified, alone. "You don't have to do this," Lily called out. "Come back, and there is no back," he howled. "Only power." He threw himself at the mirror, trying to shield it with his body, but it was too late. The mirror exploded, not with fire, but with silence. A wave of pure resonance rolled outward, washing over everything. Kale was thrown back, his form unraveling. The spire collapsed, its black crystal turning to dust. The stolen ships broke apart, drifting like bones in water. When the light faded, Kale was gone. Only his mask remained, floating in the void. They returned to Ilaria in silence. The World Tree's song was calm again, but softer. As if tired, the council declared a day of mourning for the lost moons, the stolen lives, and even for Kale, once a son of Ilaria. That evening, Zara and Lily stood on the highest branch watching the twin suns rise. "Do you think he's truly gone?" Lily asked. "His body is," Zara said. "But his hunger, that may live on in others," Lily nodded. She knew evil did not die so easily. Then Zara turned to her. "You sang the human song into our heart, and it did not break. It grew stronger. Maybe your world needed a little earth in it," Lily said with a small smile. Zara reached into her robe and pulled out a small crystal, shaped like a teardrop. Inside, a tiny light pulsed in time with Lily's heartbeat. "This is a soul bud," Zara said, "grown from the World Tree, fed by your presence here. If you accept it, you will be bound to Ilaria, not just in spirit but in life. You will age slowly. Your wounds will heal faster. And when you die, your light will join the tree." Lily took the crystal. It was warm, alive. "Will I still be me?" she asked. "More than ever," Zara said. "You will be Lily Carter, human, Ilari, dragon friend, Starwalker. All of it." Lily closed her fingers around the bud. Yes. As she did, the crystal melted into her palm, flowing up her arm like liquid gold. Warmth filled her chest. For the first time, she heard the World Tree not as a distant hum, but as a voice, gentle, ancient, welcoming. Nyx and Soul circled her, chirping joyfully. Their scales now shimmered with faint golden edges, marked by her choice. Days turned to weeks. Lily trained harder, not just as a warrior, but as a bridge. She taught young Ilari about human stories, about phoenixes rising from ash, about kindness in dark times. In return, they taught her the language of roots and stars. One morning, a scout returned with urgent news. A human ship, old, battered, bearing the United Earth Alliance mark, had entered the outer rim of the chaos. It was broadcasting a distress signal. Lily's heart leapt. Could it be? Zara placed a hand on her shoulder. "I go, see." Lily took Sol and flew out alone. When she reached the ship, she recognized it instantly, the Astra 9, her old squadron's backup vessel. Inside, she found two survivors, Captain Dana Mills and Engineer Riley Jones, both half dead from radiation sickness. "Lily?" Dana whispered, eyes wide. "You're alive?" "Barely," Lily said, tears in her eyes. "But yes, she brought them to Ilaria. The elders were wary, but Zara spoke for them. They are her people, and she is ours. Let them heal." Under the tree's light, Dana and Riley recovered. They stared in wonder at the city, the dragons, the princess with violet eyes. They asked 1,000 questions. Lily answered them all. "Are you coming back with us?" Riley asked one night. Lily looked out at the glowing branches, at Nick sleeping by the door, at Zara walking the sky path in the distance. "This is my home now," she said gently, "but you can stay, if you want." Dana and Riley exchanged glances. They had seen war, greed, the slow decay of Earth's hope. Here they saw something else. Peace, purpose, magic. "We'll stay," Dana said. And so, the first human enclave in Ilaria was born. Small at first, just 2 beds, a workshop, a garden of earth seeds. But it grew. Lily taught them the ways of the tree. They taught the Ilaria about engines, radios, and jazz music. Slowly, 2 worlds began to weave together. One evening, as Lily walked the route path with Zara, she asked, "Do you think more will come?" "Some will," Zara said. "Those who listen, those who are lost like you were, and the ones who come with fire." Zara's eyes hardened. "We will be ready," Lily nodded. She knew the peace would not last forever. Kale was gone, but the void was vast. Others would come, seeking power or salvation or simply to destroy. But Ilaria was no longer hidden. It was protected. By dragons, by songs, by a human girl who had chosen to stay. And as the twin suns set, painting the sky in gold and violet, Lily Carter, once a lost scout, now a daughter of stars, knew she was exactly where she belonged. Months had passed since the Echo Spire fell, and Ilaria bloomed like never before. The human enclave, now called Earthroot, grew steadily. Dana and Riley built small domes from recycled ship parts, planted tomatoes and sunflowers in soil mixed with star moss, and even taught a group of curious Ilari children how to play chess. Laughter, once rare in the silent city, now drifted through the branches like wind chimes. Lily moved between both worlds with ease. In the morning, she trained with Zara in the sky dojos, learning to channel the tree's energy through her blade. In the afternoon, she helped Riley repair old human tech, adapting it to Ilari crystal power. At night, she sat with Nyx and Sol on the balcony, watching dragon riders practice their aerial dances. But peace, as always, was fragile. One evening, as Lily walked through the lower gardens with Dana, the world tree's song changed again. Not a warning this time, but a call. Deep, urgent, pulling at her bones. "Do you feel that?" Lily asked. Dana frowned. "Feel what?" Only those bound to the tree could hear it. Lily ran to the heart chamber. Zara was already there, kneeling before the core. Her face was pale. "It's calling for help," Zara said without looking up. "Not here, far away. Another world tree." Lily froze. "There are others?" "Legends say there were 7 seeds cast into the void when our ancestors fled the Great Burning. Ilaria is one. The others were lost, but this one is alive." "Barely," Zara whispered. "And it is screaming." The council gathered within the hour. Some elders argued it was a trap. Others said they had no strength to spare. But Zara stood firm. "If another seed lives, we must answer. The song does not lie." Lily stepped forward. "I'll go." "You?" Elder Malus said, skeptical. "You are bound to this tree, not another." "But I'm also human," Lily said. "I can go unseen. And I hear the song too." Zara looked at her, then nodded. "We go together." Preparations were swift. They took Zara's silver ship, now fitted with human navigation tools designed by Riley. Dana insisted on coming. She knew deep space survival better than any Ilari. Riley stayed behind to guard Earthroot. They left under twin moons, the ship folding space with a sigh. The journey took 6 days. The song grew stronger, pulling them toward a dead sector of space marked Void 7 on old human charts. No stars, no planets, just endless dark. Then they saw it. Floating in the emptiness was a world tree, but broken. Its trunk was split in 2, its branches blackened, its light dim. Around it orbited shattered moons, all cracked and cold. The air outside the ship felt heavy, empty. "What happened here?" Dana whispered. "War," Zara said grimly. This was not the Void Reavers. This was older, crueler. They landed on the largest moon. The surface was covered in ruins, Ilari ruins. But different. The runes were sharper, the architecture harsher. This was not Ilaria's kin. This was a cousin twisted by time. As they stepped onto the dust, Nyx and Sol hissed. Their scales darkened to deep indigo. "Something is watching," Lily said. Then a voice echoed, not from outside, but inside their minds. "You are late." They turned. From the shadows of a collapsed archway emerged a figure, tall, cloaked in gray, face hidden, but Lily felt no malice, only sorrow. "Who are you?" Zara demanded, blade half drawn. "I am the last," the figure said, lowering their hood. Beneath it was an Ilari woman, her silver hair streaked with white, her eyes dull gray instead of violet. Her skin was cracked like dry earth. She leaned on a staff made of petrified wood. "My name is Lyra," she said. I tended this tree. I failed. She led them to a hidden chamber beneath the ruins. Inside, the remains of a council sat frozen in crystal, preserved but lifeless. They came from the dark between galaxies, Lyra said. Beings of hunger. They do not steal essence. They consume silence. They feed on forgotten things. Why this tree? Lily asked. Because it remembered, Lyra said. It held memories of the first world, the one before fire. The eaters of silence cannot bear memory, so they broke it. Zara touched the core shard in the center of the room, a dull gray stone. Can it be healed? Lyra shook her head. Not here. Not alone, but if a living seed sings to it even across space, it might wake. Lily looked at Zara. Ilaria's core. Zara's eyes widened. A resonance bridge. Dangerous. If the eaters sense it, they will come. They're already coming, Lyra said softly. I feel them in the dark. As if on cue, the ground trembled. Outside, the stars began to wink out one by one as if swallowed. They're here, Dana said, gripping her pulse rifle. We must try, Lily said. Now, they formed a circle around the core shard. Zara began the awakening song. Lily joined her, weaving human hope into the melody. Dana, though she could not sing the notes, hummed a old earth lullaby, steady, grounding. Nyx and Sol circled above, their wings casting patterns of light on the walls. Far away in Ilaria, the world tree responded. A beam of golden light shot through the void, striking the shard. It glowed, cracks filled with warmth. The gray faded to amber, but the darkness answered. From the edge of the system, shapes emerged, tall, thin, made of nothing and everything. They had no faces, only hollows where eyes should be. They moved without sound, draining light as they came. The eaters, Lyra whispered. How do we fight them? Dana asked. You don't, Lyra said. You remember. She stepped forward, placing her hands on the now glowing shard. I stayed behind to guard the memory. Now I give it back. Her body turned to light. Not golden, but silver, pure memory. It flowed into the shard, then shot back along the beam toward Ilaria. The eaters shrieked, a sound of pure void, and lunged. Run! Zara shouted. They sprinted for the ship as the moon crumbled behind them. Dana fired her rifle, not to kill, but to distract. The beams passed through the eaters like smoke. But the light startled them long enough. They launched just as the eaters reached the ruins. The ship shot upward, but one eater clung to the hull, its form seeping through the metal. Inside, the lights flickered. The air grew cold. Lily felt her memories slipping. Her mother's face, her first flight, soul's purr. They're eating my past. She cried. Zara grabbed her hands. Hold on to me. Remember me. Lily focused on Zara's violet eyes, on the warmth of her touch. She sang, softly at first, then louder. The song of home, of choice, of belonging. The eater shrieked and fell away, repelled by the strength of her memory. They escaped the system just as the last star vanished behind them. Back in Ilaria, the world tree shone brighter than ever. New branches grew overnight, curling toward the sky like open arms. And deep in the heart chamber, a second light now pulsed beside the core, soft silver, steady. Lyra lives on, Zara said, tears in her eyes. Lily placed a hand on the wall. She could hear two songs now, the golden and the silver, woven together. Days later, the council held a new meeting. This time Dana stood beside Lily. The Eaters of Silence are real, Zara told them, and they are coming for all who remember. Then we hide, one elder said. No, Lily said. We share, she explained her plan. Use Ilaria's core to send memory seeds to other lost worlds. Not just Ilari worlds, human colonies, alien outposts, any place with a spark of hope. Teach them to remember, to sing, to resist the silence. It was risky. It would weaken Ilaria's shield. But Zara agreed. Memory is not meant to be hoarded, she said. It is meant to be passed on. The first seed was sent to a human colony near Proxima Centauri, a small farming world forgotten by the Alliance. Within weeks, reports came back. Crops grew faster. Children dreamed of dragons. An old woman claimed she heard singing in the wind. More seeds followed. Meanwhile, Earthroot became a bridge. Dana sent coded messages through old Alliance channels, not revealing Ilaria's location, but spreading stories of a place where the lost could heal if they listened. Some came. A pilot with broken wings, a scientist hunted for her discoveries. a child who spoke to animals. Each was tested not by strength but by heart. If they heard the song even faintly, they were welcomed. Lily trained them all, not just to fight but to remember who they were. One night, as she sat with Zara on the highest branch, watching new dragon hatchlings take their first flight, Lily asked, "Do you think we're doing the right thing?" Zara took her hand. The tree does not grow by hiding its roots. It grows by reaching. Below them the city glowed. Ilari light, human fire, dragon wings, and memory made real. Far in the void, the Eaters of Silence waited, but now they were not the only ones listening. And somewhere in 1,000 worlds a song began to rise. The first sign came not with sound but with silence. One morning the dragon hatchlings refused to fly. They huddled in their nests, wings tucked tight, eyes wide with fear. Even Nyx and Sol grew restless, pacing the balcony, their usual purrs replaced by low, anxious growls. Lily felt it too, a hollowness in the air, as if the world tree's song had skipped a beat. Zara stood at the edge of the sky bridge, staring into the crystal chaos. Her silver hair hung still, no longer floating with the usual grace. "They are close," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "The Eaters?" Lily asked. Zara nodded. "Not just watching now. They are testing the edges of our shield." Over the next few days, strange things happened. Lights in the lower branches flickered for no reason. Pools of liquid starlight turned cloudy. And in the human enclave, Dana reported that all their clocks had stopped at the same time, 3:17 a.m. Earth standard. "It's like time itself is thinning," Riley said, frowning at a broken chronometer. Lily knew they could not wait. The memory seeds had spread hope, but they had also drawn attention. The Eaters of Silence were no longer hunting forgotten worlds. They were coming for the source. She called a meeting in the Heart Chamber. Ilari elders, human settlers, even the oldest dragon riders gathered in a wide circle around the twin cores, the golden and the silver, now pulsing in slow, worried rhythm. "We cannot hide," Lily said, "and we cannot run. So we must prepare." "Prepare how?" Elder Malus asked. "They are not flesh. They are absence. Blades pass through them. Fire does not burn them. But memory does," Lily said. "Lyra showed us that. They fear what is remembered. So we will not just defend Ilaria. We will fill it with memory so strong they cannot touch it." Her plan was bold. Every Ilari, every human, every dragon would share their deepest memory. Joy, sorrow, love, loss. And weave it into a living shield around the city. Not a wall of energy, but a wall of story. Zara agreed immediately. "We will call it the Veil of Voices." Work began at once. In the great root halls, Ilari elders sang the oldest tales. The birth of stars, the first dragon flight, the planting of the seed. In Earthroot, humans gathered around campfires telling stories of home, of grandmothers baking bread, of first kisses under streetlights, of standing up when it was hard. Even the dragons joined. They did not speak with words but with dreams. They pressed their foreheads to willing minds and shared visions, of soaring through nebulae, of guarding sleeping children, of loyalty that lasted lifetimes. Lily stood at the center of it all, her soul bud glowing bright in her chest. She became the anchor, the thread that tied human memory to Ilari song. Nyx and Sol stayed close, their scales now shimmering with faint echoes of every story they heard. As the veil grew, the city changed. Vines bloomed with flowers that glowed in colors no one had seen before. The air smelled of rain and old books and warm bread. Even the light felt softer, kinder. But the Eaters came anyway. On the 7th night, the stars began to die. Not one by one this time, but in waves. Whole constellations vanished, swallowed by a creeping dark that moved like oil on water. The crystal chaos itself grew still, its usual hum gone silent. Then they appeared, tall, thin, faceless. They floated at the edge of Ilaria's shield, not attacking, just waiting, watching. Their presence made the air heavy, thoughts slow, hearts cold. "They are trying to make us forget why we fight," Zara said, gripping her blade. Lily stepped onto the main sky platform, where the veil of voices shimmered like a curtain of mist. "Then we remind them why we remember." She raised her hands and began to sing, not the Ilari birth song, not a human lullaby, but something new. A song of Lily Carter. Lost scout, adopted daughter, dragon friend, bridge between worlds. She sang of drifting alone in the dark, of golden light in the void, of choosing to stay, of love that did not demand blood but offered trust. One by one, others joined. Zara sang of duty turned to devotion. Dana sang of finding family in the stars. Riley sang of fixing broken things and making them better. And a Larry child sang of her first flight on a dragon's back. An old human man sang of his wife's laugh, gone 50 years but never forgotten. The veil brightened. Stories wove together, human and Alari, young and old, simple and grand, until the shield was no longer mist but solid light, humming with 1,000 voices. The eaters recoiled. For the first time, they made a sound, not a shriek but a hiss of frustration. They reached out with long, shadowy fingers, but the light burned them, not with fire, but with truth. Still they did not leave. From the deepest dark something larger stirred. A shape emerged, vast, ancient, made not of absence but of stolen silence. It had no form, yet it pressed against the mind like a weight. Where it passed, even memory faded. The Hollow King. Lyra's voice whispered in Lily's mind. The silver core speaking through her. The first eater. The one who forgot his own name. How do we fight that? Dana asked, voice shaking. We don't fight it, Lily said. We give it back what it lost. She turned to Zara. We need to open the veil. Just for a moment. Let it in. Are you mad? Elder Malus cried. It will devour us all. It only devours what is empty, Lily said firmly. But if we fill it with memory, maybe it can remember too. Zara looked into Lily's eyes, saw no fear. Only faith, do it, she said. At Lily's command, the veil parted, a single doorway of light in the shield. The Hollow King drifted closer. It paused at the threshold as if confused. Then slowly, it entered. The city held its breath. Lily stepped forward alone. She did not raise a weapon. She held out her hand. I don't know your name, she said softly, but someone once loved you. Someone once sang to you. You are not nothing. She closed her eyes and shared her strongest memory. Not of battle, but of the first night in Ilaria, when Zara healed her and Nyx curled in her lap, and for the first time in weeks she felt safe. The memory flowed from her like water. The Hollow King trembled. Around them, every being in Ilaria did the same. They poured their memories into the space, joy, pain, hope, regret. Not to attack, but to offer. For a long moment nothing happened. Then a single tear fell from the Hollow King's form. Clear, bright, real. Where it touched the ground, a flower bloomed. Small, white with petals like starlight. The Hollow King shuddered. Its form softened. The crushing silence around it lessened, and deep within its core a spark flickered, faint but alive. It turned and floated back toward the dark. But this time it did not swallow the stars. It passed between them gently, like a ghost returning home. The other eaters followed, fading into the void, no longer hunters but wanderers seeking what they had lost. Silence returned to the chaos. But it was a peaceful silence now, the kind that comes after rain. In Ilaria, the veil of voices remained, not as a shield, but as a gift. It glowed softly around the city, a living library of heart and history. Days later, a new signal came through Riley's modified comm array, not a distress call, a song. Faint humans sung in English, from the Proxima colony. They had heard the veil, and they were singing back. More signals followed, from a mining outpost near Sirius, from a research station orbiting a blue giant, even from a hidden Ilari moon no one knew still lived. Each carried a voice. Each carried memory. Ilaria was no longer alone. Lily stood with Zara on the highest branch, watching dragon riders soar through the glowing veil. Below, children, Ilari and human, played together, weaving flower crowns and telling each other stories. Do you think it's over? Lily asked. No, Zara said. But it is beginning. What is? The age of remembering, Lily smiled. She leaned her head on Zara's shoulder. Nyx and Sol circled above, their wings catching the light of two cores, two worlds, one home. Far away, in the quiet dark, a forgotten name stirred, and somewhere, a song grew stronger,